Aha! It worked that time. Thankfully. Right. Hello, 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 hello. And we'll get it out of the way because we always do it. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. R. Yeah. So anyone who's been hanging around in the other stream, for some reason it wouldn't actually let that one go live. Live streaming is not available right now, despite me hitting the button many times. So we had to quickly reset the stream up and re-go from there. Such is the life of a YouTuber. Yeah. Hello, James. How the devil are you? Good to see you. So yes, YouTube playing silly beggars again today. So, what can you do? Must be all the people trying to do streams for Mother's Day, I guess. Not that I'd have thought that would be a highly utilized stream, really. No. Oh, there we go. So that was we mean to go on. Burps and grumbling. That's pretty much what I do best. I'm wearing baseball caps that are too small for my head. It's not that the cap is too small. It's just my head is too big. Just the way it is. Anyway, so yay, week off work. Finally. Should have been this week, but due to circumstances, it got put back a week because I was nice about it. So, yay. Been looking forward to it for a while now. Last week I had off was before Christmas. It's far too long to be working. Yes, I know, American friends. Don't hate, but we legally get a minimum of 5.5 weeks paid vacation, and I get 6 because I'm awesome. Yeah, so does it have cat make my head look big? No, my head makes my head look big. Yeah, it is. A comically oversized dome, I think, is the description. So people say, "Oh, you're going bald. You should shave your head." I'm like, "No, I shouldn't. Not this melon. No." I would look absolutely ridiculous. I would just look like I've got potato on my shoulders. It's a prize-winning potato. And a potato with lots of interesting dinks and dents and scars and yeah. I want to make the most of hair while I've got it. And then when I don't got it no more, I'll just wear a cap and have a skullet. Or I could just comb over the hair at the back to the front, so I've got a fringe. Yeah, that kind of thing going on. What you been up to lately, James? As you seem to be about the only person who's chatting away. I'm pretty much out of touch with what anyone's been doing in the fishy fam lately because, yeah, been doing other things. There's only so much time in the day available to watch videos. And apologies to anyone whose videos I haven't watched. But, you know, Sometimes there are other subjects I want to watch videos on. Let's put it that way. Sometimes I just want to see cats falling over and rabbits flopping or yawning, or some really in-depth documentary. Haven't made any, so I've not missed any. That'd be why I'm not having any notifications then. Yeah, I've not really done a huge amount of fishy content lately. I've got one pre-recorded to go up, which is really uninteresting. It is literally just time lapse of bristlenose plecos hatching. Finally getting internet on the 28th. Oof. So, oh yeah, it's America, so they're not going to get fined. And there's probably no, you have to have connection by, yeah. We do things a little differently in the UK. I can choose any internet service provider I like. Wherever you are in the UK. And we've got dozens to choose from. Although I stay with BT because, well, you know, they own all the phone lines. So my theory is they're likely to get to their customers first if there's a problem, rather than someone else's. And I've never had a problem with BT Internet. Plus, I'm on a business deal, which means I pay a lot less. Yeah. Howdy, Link bot. Yeah. Yeah, that's so. Yeah. At some point this week, I will do my research and do a video on the clicky boys, species profile on yo-yo loaches. Yeah, I call them clicky boys because that's what they do. That and absolutely demolish snails. And grow very fast on a diet of lots and lots of snails. It's not a big place, but you know, we have all these things in place like monopolies commissions and mergers commissions, where it's illegal to have a monopoly. And if one company goes to buy another company, it has to go through the Monopolies and Mergers Commission, and they decide whether company A can buy company B or not, whether that's good for the public. No, so let's say Walmart bought out another grocery chain. Well, they wouldn't be allowed to in the UK. A few years back, Sainsbury's tried to buy Asda and got told, no, you can't, because that would be too big of a monopoly. Ironically, Asda, which was not originally, has been owned by Walmart in the past. And then they found out that US business practices aren't legal in the UK. Logistics of living in the middle of nowhere on a mountain. Well, we still have middle of nowhere. We still manage to get internet to it. We even get fresh water to it. yeah. I saw a thing about the water in Flint, Michigan the other day again, and I was like, that's still going on. That water company still hasn't been fined and everyone jailed yet. Damn. um, I, I can see the appeal of living in the middle of nowhere. I mean, not necessarily on a mountain. Because living on a mountain does mean that wherever you go is going to be uphill on the way home. And it's always better to go downhill on the way home because there's a lot less energy required. I say that as I used to live on the side of a mountain. Not the Broken Beacons. Black Mountain, that was it. And yeah, that was great. Awesome riding into town. It took me like 10-15 minutes, and I just basically sat on my bike and rolled the whole way. Coming home wasn't so much fun. It was riding up the bloody mountain. Howdy, Solian. How you doing? Well, I remember, is it actually Mother's Day in America today, or is that just one of those things we have it on a different day in the different countries? So I know your clocks have changed already. Ours have got another 3 or 4 weeks to go before we do them. Yeah, I'm all right. Just usual me. Wind, grumbling about stuff. Talking rubbish. Drinking energy drinks, smoking. Yeah, and so our Mother's Day, as I say, is today. So happy Mother's Day to any mothers who are either watching this live or on the replay. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. God, I hate doing that. Yeah, our clocks change at the end of March. Generally, because our weather's we're not quite in spring yet. Daffodils are out, but that's about it. Mufti, how you doing, John? Hope all is well. Working on stuff in the background. Lurk away, my friend. My phone's pinging like crazy, probably because there's a bunch of people sitting in the other live stream that didn't go live, thinking, why isn't Sharpe live yet? It kind of crashed and burned. Yeah, YouTube problem. Yeah, I'm on fiber optic as well. It's fiber optic and internet phone. I'm not so fond of the internet phone because the old phones worked in a power cut. The internet phones don't work in a power cut. Plus, the old phones at most needed one socket to plug it in. The new ones need 3. One for the thing that goes in the wall, one for the mini hub for the phone, and one for the phone itself. But really? You couldn't have put that into one unit? Apparently not. Which for most people is probably not too much of an issue. They can just stick an adapter plug in and have 2 or 3 plugged into it. When you got a whole bunch of fish tanks, spare sockets are a rarity. Ooh, my crew sent you 4 lights to review. night crew, so they're going to be good. And I'll let you in on a little kept secret. They're exactly the same lights as almost all the other lights that look the same coming out of China. They're all made in the same factory, including that companies that I won't buy purely because of their unethical business practices, i.e. paid for reviews. Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got a couple of, well, those are night crews. That's a night crew. But I've got a couple that are badged as mine licked. Now they gave it a German name to make it sound more well made. Because Germans are famed for their electronics. Yeah, it's the same light as a night crew, the same light as a Finax, and that one that rhymes with the M word that we can't say anymore. I say anymore because I'm old and I remember when you could say it and no one took offence. Yeah. Got the lights for free. The payment is keeping the lights. Yeah, that's the company I'm referring to wanted to send me things for free to review. I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And I said, well, yeah, so just go on to Amazon and buy them. And I'm like, that's not free. Yeah, but when you leave a good review, then we'll pay you back. I'm like, right, so you want me to buy this stuff, even if it sucks hole big time, leave a good review, and then you pay me back? Yeah. I'm like, you do realise that's illegal in this country? No, it's not. Yes, it is. What do you mean? You do realise I'm not in America, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing is illegal over here. Paid for reviews. The company and the person who did the review are liable for it. So yeah, I won't buy their stuff. I mean, chances are I've probably got some of their stuff. It's just branded something else. Deli, darling, how are you? Mwah. I know you're not, but happy Mother's Day. I know you're probably a mother in one way. You're a fur mother. There you go. So happy Mother's Day. Oh, pardon me. Mother to fur baby. Yeah, it's like, so I've got to leave a really good review. And if you don't think it's good enough, you're not going to give me my money back. And what you're going to do is you're probably going to give me Amazon gift cards, which, if there's nothing else I want to buy off Amazon, are basically useless. Plus, this is illegal. Howdy, Dennis. Oh, heavy on the ghost emojis. What have I done now? Yes, fur children. Yes, they do that. And as you sleep all day, well, you got to do stuff. G'day, Marquis Mark, Baron of Barras and Yeeter of Yowies. So yeah, I've probably got some of their stuff because, yeah, let's be honest, I would probably reckon there's maybe 3 factories in the world making aquarium lights, one of which will be in China. So anything that's not probably fluval or denolite, it's probably all coming out of the same factory. They just stick a different label on the box, basically. Was it those air pumps a few months, year or so ago? Ones that had like the shark fin on the top. Oh, they're really quiet. Yeah, it's just because the actual pump is in another box inside the posh box. Yeah, you can get those in another make exactly the same thing, and they're like half the price now, or a third of the price. So I might get one of those because I do need new air to pump. Because the one Eheim down there that runs those 6 tanks is starting to get a bit tractory and not produce a huge amount of air. Exhaust air, bought the remote home for the stereo, so I've got to run it back down the very first thing and work this off. Oh. Now just leave them in silence, sod them. If they want it, they can come and get it. That's my view on the subject. But then they know where you live. And it's one thing having an address on file. It's another thing when someone actually knows physically where you live. It's not as, you want to avoid that with work colleagues if you can, especially management. It's like when the weather's been nasty, peeing down the rain, blowing a hoolie. My boss has offered to give me a lift home. I'm like, yeah, but then I've still got to come back and get my bike the next day, or I've got to walk the next day. It's mainly so I just don't want people to know exactly where I live. Aquaneat lights are cheap and last. Yeah, as I say, they're all at the same factories, so. Yeah, so I do need a new light for one of the flexes because that one went pop. Mostly due to it being full of water, so it wasn't exactly waterproof, was it? I just got a dodgy one, is probably what happened. So it's whether I get another Fluvel light to go into that, so everything still works on the same remote and easy as, or whether I figure some other brand out. I was looking at some Ciora lights the other day. It looked like they could probably do the trick, but that would involve drilling some holes in the lid so I could run zip ties through to hold the light to the lid. Best Heath Robinson, Rube Goldberg intentions. But again, do you trust that they're actually going to be waterproof? Well, the chances are they're probably made in the same factory as the Nycrew ones that are twice the price, or 3 times the price even. Probably exactly the same light, because the light looks the same. Not the remote, the inline controller looks exactly the same. All the pictures are the same. But there's not a huge amount of space underneath the Fluval Flex's lid and where you'd want the water level to be. So if you've got a T8 size light under there, it might be in the water. I might have to do a bit of measuring. Easy to find me, just ask Norfolk with a T-Total bike riding fish. Yeah, or just ask for Sharpe. Probably don't know enough people by now. I mean, it's not the most populous of counties, but it's not the least. The 15-gallon Dennis. I mean, it's lasted a couple of years, this replacement, so I'm not too grumbly about it. And I'm getting a pay rise soon, so what the heck? Let's splash cash, shall we? And it's fish selling season again, so we should have more cash coming in that way. It's easy to find as long as I'm not on a bike ride. Chances are I'll be in the middle of absolute nowhere. Actually, it's scary to think. It's actually less than a month till I do that 100-miler. And I've not cycled more than about a mile and a half for 5 or 6 months. So that could be fun. That's one of the plans for this week, is to go on at least like a 30-odd mile bike ride, and just to check I survive it. I mean, I'll be doing it over the 2 days, but it's going to be interesting. And I do feel sorry for the wildlife as well, because I will be camping out in the wild. Uh, 215s with hobs on, lids on 2, 100-mile bike ride by Major Bumsaw. Weirdly, it's not my butt I'm that worried about. Sharpe gone wild, yes. Me in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. Working on the lung capacity right now, definitely. Yes, as the the long COVID asthmatic smoker is going to cycle 100-mile. Weirdly, it's not my breathing that's the issue. It's not my butt that's the issue. It's not my legs that are the issue. It's something you really wouldn't think. It's my hands. That's where the main issue is going to lie. That and the fact that I'm just going to be in agony and when I get out of bed, as it were, on day 2. And he's so stiff, it's going to be like, oh, I gotta get up. Oh. And then it's that knowing I've probably got another 40 miles to cycle that day just to get home. But then at least I'll be able to say I've done it. And I'll say, because I've done a couple of other 60-milers and I know I can do that every day. That's not a problem. I can do that in a day. That's not an issue, providing it's not too hot. I will be fairly heavily laden down. But the other rides have taught me plenty, and I've learned plenty of things about how not to pack. Like, don't put a rucksack on your back because it's going to be agony. Crack, crunch every morning. Yeah, that's me too. It won't be the joints that will be the issue, though. It's going to be the muscles will be so stiff, and not the good muscles. So yeah, it'll be come to energy drink, probably a chocolate bar, cigarettes, ibuprofen, paracetamol, antihistamines, probably some Sudocrem because I'll probably be covered in bites from insects. Ibuprofen cream to put on various other achy bits. Then start packing down the breakfast of champions. Champion what? I don't know. champion masochists, maybe. Yeah, then pack up camp and get back on the trail and start riding home. At least the first half of the distance, there are places to stop off and get food and drink and stuff. It's that second half. Yeah, we do. It won't be a case of good chocolate. It'll be a case of calorie, energy dense chocolates. So probably be double deckers, which are good. And maybe flapjacks. Yeah, there will be gas station sandwiches as you would know them. Yeah. So yeah, it's the second half from Castleacre up to the Norfolk coast and then back again. There's nothing, literally no shops at all. So yeah, we've got to have enough to get up there and get back again. Eat some of the German chocolate from World War II. I am not going to go and buy some of them blooming ye oldie MREs. Oh, Danny boy, it's raining, raining again. Listening while doing the dishes. I hope you remembered Mother's Day. And Arnold, good evening, sir. Same for you. Hope you remembered. I hope no one's got themselves in trouble. I got to admit, it's the one time that YouTube adverts have come in useful. Because all the various companies were advertising what they were selling for Mother's Day. I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's coming up. I didn't do anything too special, just cards and flowers and chocolates for Mary, not for my mother. I wouldn't pee on her if she was on fire. Not unless I've been drinking neat vodka for about 3 weeks. Then I might. Love your mothers. Love your fathers. Not everyone's as screwed up as my family. Anyway, hence why I have nothing to do with them. I'm the black sheep of the black sheep. Yes, and that makes me the normal one. Yeah. Heck, my granddad died last year. Yeah, it was granddad. Yeah. All right. I didn't even get an invite to the funeral. Fair enough. Apparently, I was supposed to be upset about it, but you know, I can't. Anyway, so what else we've been up to this week? Water changes. Not a lot going on in the fishy tanks. No more breedies or anything new. Obviously, more baby shrimps and more baby shellies and more baby limia. It's kind of a weekly thing, though. That's just something that happens. Actually, here's a question. Would it be wrong if I were to help someone out because their platies have done what platies do and massively overpopulated their tank? Or would it be wrong if I were to help them out by taking some of said platies off their hands quarantining them for a couple of weeks and make sure they're actually healthy, and then selling them to the shop. Yeah, ethical or... So let's be honest, they're not going to recognise their fish, are they? I mean, they're platies, for crying out loud. Or do I just go, you know what, no, just take them in yourself, because that would do the shop a favour, because then they wouldn't have to pay for them. Someone put a post on the community Facebook group. Can someone please help who knows fish? I was like, do I? Don't. Then people started tagging me into it, and I was like, ugh. No, I've got no choice but to get involved. Oh, well, I think I might just leave it and say I've got no available tank space. I could put platies in there. I'm pretty sure the limias would murder them all, though. Because lovely, friendly little live bearers, Limia perugia, are not. They've done for a few cichlids, let's put it that way. They just constantly peck at them and peck at them and peck at them until they get an infection. That's pretty much what they do. Yeah, and so they don't even eat their own fry, which is weird. Yes. Oh, yeah, fishy stuff. Anything else going on? Easter coming up, so chocolate bunny eggs. Got to get a human fry down. Oh dear. How do I like the league table? Which league table? Football, rugby. To be honest, I've not paid any attention to either. Yeah, Premier League, not a clue. Not the foggiest who's where, what's going on. I'm assuming Spurs have lost a lot and are probably bottom of the league in that case. I'm guessing, therefore, you possibly support the same team, or the team you support is at the top, and the team he supports is at the bottom. One of them. It's either going to be yay, go us, or a ha ha, you suck. Generally, how it is with sports. Oh dear. The last time I actively followed football would have been back when I was still watching TV, and that's a good few years now. No idea. I'm trying to think what the last football match I might have watched was. It might have been something in a World Cup. Oh, so you're a scummer, are you? You see, as Spurs fans, we're not worried about that. You know, it's not all about winning. As long as we get to 40 points at the end of the season, we're happy. And yeah, 1966. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. I reckon they should remake that and change it to "It's going home," but to wherever is going to, whoever's going to win, that's where football's going home. I haven't even got a clue who plays for England at the moment. I'm pretty sure Harry Kane still does, but that's about it. Oh, that was the last game I watched, and they were all raving on about some young lad with a double-barrel surname who was like, "Oh, he's amazing." And I'm like, I watch the match and I'm like, he sucks. I'm like, yeah. I always found watching football games to get rather frustrating. Because I'd be like, why didn't you play the obvious pass out there? Why did you? Why did? You paid a fortune. Why do you suck at your job? Let's be honest. Football is a very simple game made very complicated by people. You play it simply, it's easy. If you overcomplicate it, it's really not. Yeah. I'm not sure what's a worse subject, football, religion, or politics. In the UK, probably all three are on a par, causing the most fights and arguments. Yeah. Let's try and avoid fights and arguments, shall we? World Endurance Championship is back up and running again. They had their first race last weekend in Qatar. I'm partway through watching the first race on the reruns. And when I say partway through, I think I'm nearly halfway. It's a 10-hour race, so yeah, it takes a while to watch it. Yeah, it's not the same without the LMP2 cars there this year. But hey, things move on. But LMP2 cars are really cool. Yeah, so that's that. What else is going on? Yeah, not a lot. Again, if there's any videos anyone actually wants me to make, let me know. I'll probably do an unboxing of whichever air pump or light I decide to get this week. Yeah, not that unboxing an air pump is a particularly interesting video. Open the box, there's an air pump. Oh look, it comes with air stones. We'll add them to the box of air stones we're never going to use. Well, it comes with all these little suckery things that we're never going to use because they don't work. And the airline never stays in them. And it comes with a bunch of cheap airline as well that goes hard after about 3 weeks submersion in water. What else can you do after that? Plug it in and then it will be noisier than it should be because it's not attached to airline and got back pressure from the water. So, yeah. Hey, it's content. And apparently, as a content creator, that's all I should worry about is making content. I'd rather be a content creator. The content I want to make. But hey, if anyone's got any ideas, ideas or things they'd like to see or hear my viewpoints on, bear in mind my viewpoints tend not to agree with what most people think. But I am usually quite good at backing them up with, science or common sense, if not science, because generally, if you start talking sciencey stuff in a YouTube video, then people get the ump because they don't understand it, or they've completely missed the point. Oh dear. I really shouldn't have had that cheddar and red onion flatbread yesterday. Whew. Either that or I should have put some eggs on it as well and made the most of the wind. Science, but yeah. Now, we have statistical proof, empirical data, but yeah, you do. You disagree with fact with opinion, okay? The dead can't come back to life. Explain Easter then. But that's different. No, it's not. The devil put dinosaurs here. Oh yeah, better not carry on singing that one. If you know that song, you'll know what the next line is. Usually best not to sing Alice in Chains songs anyway in public. Not because of copyright issues. Mostly just lyrical content. Although I did disturb some people the other day at work. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was just doing my own thing out the back in the warehouse. And in an attempt to drown out the god awful radio station that someone put on that was all bleep bleep dribble fart puke music, I was singing some 90s male songs to myself. And I was singing Reptile, and apparently I got heard from the next dial over singing some of the lines about, well, yeah, not pleasant stuff. I'm like, no, it's just the kind of music I like to listen to sometimes. Well, it's electronic music, same as you're listening to. It's just slightly differently done, that's all. Better done, more complex, more interesting. Why am I having a diatom outbreak in the bloody Shelly tank again? Seriously, it looks like someone's had diarrhea up the side of the tank. Maybe I have, can't remember. Oh, I just saw something moving out the corner of my eye. Was that you? Was that you, Zach, or was that Shadow? I reckon that was probably Shadow. Yes, looking at the Shelleys and see something move across the other end of the room. Ghosts? Nah. Not scary. Oh no, hey Shirley Dwellies. You don't care, do you? As long as you've got food, shells and sand to muck about with, you're happy. And to be fair, they'd probably actually be even happier if I just let the diatom algae cover all the glass. I think we'll probably have a good day tomorrow doing fishy stuff. Cleaning glass, removing snails, catching bristlenoses and moving into different tanks. The usual. I'm aiming to take the usual actually point. Take the bristlenoses out of probably that one and put them into that one, so that all the big super reds are in one place. And I might split another tank up to split the commons up so they grow a bit quicker. Or I might see if I can catch the rest of the super reds out of that one. But there's super reds and commons in there, so that'll be a nightmare. We'll see how we go. See how I feel. I might just want to go back to bed. It wouldn't be the first time on a Monday. All I wanted to do is go back to bed. Since my weekends are normally Sunday and Monday, and then let's say Sunday I'm usually fairly busy, then Monday being water change day, and then I get to go back to work again on Tuesday. Yay! But not this week. So if the weather's dry and sunny and relatively pleasant, I'll get out and start hacking back the lavender and the box in the front garden and cut the grass. If it's wet and manky, then I might make a start on the man cave spare room. See if I can get that a bit tidy. Because then if I can get in there without having to step over things and actually sit at the workbench, then I might actually want to sit at the workbench and actually do some modelling stuffs. And yeah, if I get that, yeah, if the weather's manky and I can get that done, I could then maybe do a stream of me modelling. Not clothes, don't worry, scale modelling. Nobody wants to see me doing a bikini try-on video, let's be honest. And yes, I am aware they are a thing, because they do occasionally pop up on my feed, despite me not looking for them. Quite how they get away with doing that on YouTube, I don't know. Definitely not safe for work. And given the age, I'm guessing that most of them probably are, it's probably not safe for the other W word either. But yeah, those are the kind of things I might get up to this week, and go on a bike ride, weather allowing. Have a good trundle, get the old legs moving, and then probably wash the bike at some point as well, because that's fairly manky. Once I've done that, check my panniers actually fit on my bike. Might need some adjustments, but yeah, they should fit. Yeah, that'll be about it, I reckon. Then back to more water changes and back to work again. Joy, 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 happy, happy, joy. Feels weird without Sam being here. He must be busy. Or he's got his times mixed up. Or he's sitting in the wrong stream waiting for me to start. Yeah. Be very quiet in chat today. What else can we talk about? Didn't encounter any cool new doggo or cat friends this week. We find out this week if the issue at work is finally fully resolved. And if it is, I will pop into work with cake because I think that deserves a celebration if it's fixed, sorted and goes away. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm sure I'll find something to do. And Danny Boy's back. He's retrieved the human fry from whence it got up to. As I kind of try and speak, hiccup, and burp at the same time. Which is an interesting combination. Yeah, so Arnold's been slating the mighty Spurs, Dan, so, you know, you might want to give him some grief. Well, yeah. You know, as one of two teams in the English Football League with a swear word in their name, and I'll let you see if you can figure out the other one. One down, finish the dishes, then back to his bath and bed the rest. Oh dear. Just get a hose pipe in the back garden. That'd be fine. Just hose them down quick. You'll be right. Or just tell them to have a scrub in the kitchen sink and use the dirty dishwater. Job done. Far more efficient. Teaching them the joys of the washing, the full body wash at the sink. No, probably best not to. Yeah, let's be honest. We all laugh at Arsenal. Or Arsenal is probably the better name. The Gooners, the Scummers. Yeah, but you see, this is it. We're Spurs fans. You know, as long as we hit 40 points and don't get relegated, we're happy. We're not glory hunters. Heck. I remember sitting there one night listening to Radio 5 Live the time we lost 6-0 to Sheffield United. No, not man Chitty. No, not that one. I mean, Northern, definitely a Northern club. They're not Premier League. Probably not far above what I would still call the Vauxhall Conference. Scunthorpe, that's the one. The two that I'm aware of English professional football teams with a swear word in their name: Arsenal and Scunthorpe. No, there isn't a Berkshire club, is there? Or Berkshire. There's an interesting etymology to the word Burke as well. But we won't go into that one because it is quite rude. Oh, there is something with a massive cock in it. White Hart Lane. That's because the club's mascot or emblem is a cockerel, and there's a gigantic cockerel above the entrance to the ground, or there always was. Generally, it's football, so there's a massive cock in every bloody ground. There's probably 11 in every dressing room, minimum. Yeah, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, TS Stadium, yeah. No longer White Hart Lane. There goes another era of my childhood. They start renaming all the grounds. And I'm guessing the old one is going to become flats, and the area where the pitch is probably going to become a small park or gardens. Not quite that old. It's one of the oldest ones. I'm trying to remember when Spurs started up. Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, the club's slogan is Latin, if that's a. Yeah, I can't remember. Kind of thing I should know about the club I've supported since I was like 5. No, I can't remember when the club formed. It was one of the older ones, but it's. And yes, I didn't miss the joke. I was just dodging it. And sometimes I roll with the. Wonder if the big rooster was in homage or homage. Homage, we'll go with the correct pronunciation. The first club sponsor, Biggest Dickus. There are actually plenty of videos of people reacting to that scene on YouTube. Very funny. Bring me Biggest Dickus. 1882. Yeah, long before the smelly gooners moved onto our patch. Exactly. Your granddad bombed our football ground. That's slightly different to your granddad bombed our chip shop, which is what we used to say about World War II and Germans. Isn't it about time we put that behind us now? I mean, the French, we're never going to let that lie, but the Germans learned from their mistakes and have moved on and are actually a very pleasant bunch of people now. It's a very nice country. The French, they ain't moved on since Napoleon. Oh, actually, that was a video I watched this week on the Casual Criminalist, one of Simon Whistler's many YouTube channels. he did an episode on the Suffolk Strangler. True tries right. Yeah. Yeah, so the case of the Suffolk Strangler. Casual Criminalist is a channel that goes through like infamous, we're going to say that instead of famous, like criminal, usually, let's be honest, serial killers, that kind of thing. It does feel weird when you're watching a video like that or documentary or whatever, and the place names they're talking about, and it's not like you've heard of it before. It's like, oh yeah, I know where that is, I've heard of that or whatever. It's place names that you've been. And no, it wasn't me. We're talking about places that you've actually been to. I mean, it's not that far away where the crimes were committed. And I think the guy who did it is also still being investigated for other similar cases around the same time, some of which are up in Norfolk. He was a serial unaliver of what do we have to call them these days? Ladies of the night, should we put it that way? And yeah, I think it's 5 or 6 down in the Ipswich area. There's a few up in Norwich, and he happened to live in Norwich at that time. Ladies of questionable affection, or paid for affection. But I mean, and this is a fairly recent one. It was 2005, 6, something like that. And they're going through the investigation and everything. It starts out fairly similar to the usual ones, where it's ladies of questionable affection that have been disappearing, where the police don't really take it that seriously because, well, it's kind of their fault. Not my view. Because they're drug addicts, they're ladies of the night. But then basically they had a new person take over the case and was like, no, we're going to investigate this properly. And since then, they've been doing a lot of work in the area. They've not necessarily arresting the women, they've been arresting the clients. And they've been trying to help the women with, setting up drug treatment programs and not rehabilitation, programs and systems to help get them into proper work, as it were, rather than being buried in a Y-shaped coffin. Yeah, I've watched a whole bunch of documentaries on these things. I've got to improve my craft. Learn where everyone else makes their mistakes and gets caught. Just research like I would for keeping the different species of fish. But yeah, it's just very strange when it's like really local, or when it's weird enough when you not only remember it, but you watching the news as it was unfolding. Oh, speaking of serial unalivers, that's only because he breaks their hearts, though. Tommy, how you doing, you spexy beast? You heartbreaker, you. So I'm not just ignoring everyone. I'm just rolling another ciggy because why not? There goes elbow deep in the dirt, working the gardens. I've just been at work. Yeah, I may make a start on the gardening this week if the weather's okay. Oh, I'd love to hear what Tommy gives the numbers as. Is it? Oh, two fat ladies, 88. What are the other ones? I can't remember. Most of the bingo numbers have different names for them. There's actually a line from was that Ned's Atomic Dustbin or Carter USM in the song Only Living Boy in New Cross. I might be able to be there this weekend. We shall see, as I don't have to work this Saturday. Yay! First Saturday off this year. Yes, exactly. Yes. Channel the dad jokes. That's all you got to do. Dad jokes and cheese, and you'll be absolutely fine as a bingo caller. Although I do like that you do get a bit bashful. Like, why? You know what you're talking about. You're good on camera, and you're good looking. Why? Howdy, Ricky. How you doing? Better than dad joke. There's no such thing as anything better than a dad joke. Dad jokes are epic. Small child roasts are possibly better. When what was one I saw the other day? It was like there was a woman asking her husband, he's like, "Will you still love me if I get a bit fat?" And you see the little kid up in the background go, "Mum, you are fat." Oh dear. Out of the mouths of babes. Well, I never get any notifications. Probably the government doesn't want you to watch. They don't want you to be subverted. Yeah, it's always hard to keep anything up for that length of time. Oh dear, that was about. See, that was a dad joke, and I'm not even a dad. Another reason for me not to get married. Is if Mary and I were to get married, I would become a stepdad, and that just scares me, to be honest. Well, nothing would change. Let's be honest. It'd be exactly the same as it is now. Just Mary would be wearing a ring. I would lose a ring. Yeah, that's about all that would change. Right. How do you make a tissue dance? Go on then. Put a little boogie in it. Oh, that's beyond dad joke. That's a George RB3 joke. That is. Um, like the classic What's brown and sticky? A stick. Forrest Gump's password. One forest. One forest one. Run, Forrest! Run! Lieutenant Dane, you got legs! And so, as I'm sure some are aware, Gary Sinise, who played Lieutenant Dan, or Lieutenant Dan, if you're going to pronounce it incorrectly, does a lot of work for the armed forces. That goes out as benefits and all the kind of things to help, and also, injured servicemen and women and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, they're all not the fact that all the other stuff he's done. Anytime they see him, they just call him Lieutenant Dan or Lieutenant Dan. What happened to the frog that parked illegally? It got towed. Speaking of frogs, actually, because no one picked up on it last week, because the title was Frogs Porn. Or was it something about with added fraugy or something like that? Yes, we've got pond is full of frog spawn in the back garden again. And there's, it's just constant rah, 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 going on. Yellow! How you doing, Sam? Been at dog park whole day. Feel so bad. Love you. Love you too. Don't feel bad. You've been at the dog park playing with doggo and fussing other doggos and probably chatting to other doggo owners. You've been out and doing normal life stuff. Still there doing all those things. Well, my frogs scare the cats. That's the problem. I mean, Zach didn't like frogs after that one screamed at him, but I've not seen a cat in my garden since the frogs have all come back. So some weird thing came out of Dad's house a few days back. He was in the hospital. Affected something. The cleaners had come down there and left everything they bought and haven't come back since. Yeah, they probably saw something that for some reason they got scared of. See, to me, and this is where I'm weird, very weird. If I find I'm working somewhere and it's haunted, I'm more likely to stay. Oh, cool. Let's say where I work now is haunted. The last place was haunted as well. As I got asked a couple of months ago, so it was like, you're sensitive to these things and you can feel them, kind of, the spidey senses, as I call it. Dad's servant's the reason Dad's sick. Practices. So I'm glad he's back home and on the mend anyway. That's the important bit. So how long have you been aware that Sam's here, our ghost? Do you really want to know? No. Yeah, when did you first become aware? When I came for the interview. What? When you came back? Yeah. Yeah, I felt his presence there, and he weren't he didn't feel bad or nasty or anything. So yeah, so this is someone I can talk to that I know I'm going to get on well with, and they're not going to annoy me by being noisy. Ooh, 3.5. Still, the doctor's given time a month and a half. Oh, well, let's hope the doctor's wrong then, Ricky. Hope the doctor's very wrong getting all the paperwork ready. Oh, I can imagine. I mean, I've never had to do that, but I can imagine there's a lot of paperwork. Oh, Dan read an article the other day titled "The Worms in Chernobyl Have Superpowers." I mean, I know they sell glow-in-the-dark worms for fishing bait, but actual glow-in-the-dark worms. And if you want a dad joke, no, our clocks haven't changed this week. That's why. Our clocks change at the end of the month, not the beginning. Itch. Yeah. You want a dad joke? I've got one for you, Tommy. Why should you never go on holiday in Ukraine? Because Chernobyl fallout. But they breed, therefore evolve much quicker than us, so now becoming immune to irradiation. Yeah. 2 kilo cremation ash, human result. Yeah, that's could yeah, that's never good signs. I mean, I don't get into the whole ritualized aspect of these things, but yeah, that's not good. Yeah, Dan's thought was so Spider-Man could be a thing. Yeah, well, that's why scientists do all their studies on fruit flies, isn't it? Because they evolve so quickly, because they breed so rapidly. It's a bit hard to test evolution on humans because you know, yeah, 16, 20 years between each generation. There's fruit flies and stuff is like a couple of weeks. Yeah, so evolved to become immune to radiation. No doubt at some point that they will be collected and sold and processed and become some kind of medication for either radiation poisoning or for soldiers that are going to have to go into places that might have radiation. Got the least amount of chromosomes. Yeah, there are other reasons, but yeah, very very quick reproductive rate is one of the main reasons. Yeah, radiation-proof worms. I know there are weirder things on the planet. Apparently, what Chris said, duck you. Oh dear. Auto carrot hitting the road again. Have you got it set to American spelling rather than English? English simplified as it actually comes up on a lot of things these days. I know I knock it, but and a lot of it does really actually make sense. But we're going to stick with our complex and convoluted way of spelling things and letters that you don't pronounce or you pronounce completely differently. There is actually a thing on Google which translates Norfolk to English. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I found it the other day at work. So I was trying to explain to someone about various Norfolk phrases, and yeah, they do go back a long way. things like keep you troshin', which is basically Norfolk for have a good day, stay well, that kind of thing. Um, Originally comes back from, unsurprisingly, farming. Uh, keep threshing, have a good crop is what it kind of meant originally, and keep you troshin' bar. Have a good day, sir. And yeah, some of their spellings are hilarious. I'll translate for Gen Z slang to English. That there isn't one. Emojis and stuff doesn't translate into a language. Ah, yes, Urban Dictionary. Where you go when someone says something, you crack up laughing, and they're like, "What's so funny?" And you just go, Urban Dictionary, what they just said. Read that. Rescinding back to the Egyptian times using hieroglyphs. Oh, God, yeah. As long as people don't start talking in them, that'll be okay. Mm. Cat, smiley face, laughy face, dude doing that. Literally do that after I speak with my nephew. You know, the easy option, just don't speak to young people. It's quite sensible. Or just start being really cringe and using their slang against them, preferably in public. So really hate that. Oh, hell, I hated it when I was younger and older people used the cool words. Me and Mrs. DKF have an entry in the Urban Dictionary: scarecrowism, meaning waking up in the morning after a pie covered in glue and straw. Yes, great days. Yeah, I could probably have plenty of entries in the Urban Dictionary. Pulling a Sharpie. Let them smoke some. The cool uncle, they smoke the nonsense called vape. That's not smoking. That's just inhaling steam. Um, Scarecrows. I mean, I might have called it doing a gummage or having a wurzel. Oh, I completely believe you. I wouldn't be surprised if I did show up in there someday. Pulling a Sharpie to injure yourself in a massively dumb method when a moment's forethought would have prevented it. Like that way, almost healed up now, but yeah, managed to wallop my elbow the other day. Weren't thinking clearly when we submitted it. Still hungover, or still drunk from the night before. Right, garbage. There's so many times I've tried to grow some nuts and smoke a cigarette. Yeah. At least cigarettes produce less fumes. Those bad liars can see right through them. That you can. Some of them. Some of them are fairly dense and you can't see through. Shadow generally you can't see through. Zach you just can't see at all. You just feel. So shadow you see and hear, Zach you just feel. It takes a lot of guts to be an organ donor. It does. And I am actually on the organ donor list. Not that anyone would want anything. Pulling a Sharpie. Attempts to perform a seemingly mundane movement, such as standing up, instead throwing it back out, burping, farting, grabbing yourself in one fluid motion. Yeah, baby's putting water vapor in your lungs. Yeah, exactly. That's one that always gets me. It's like, technically you're drowning yourself. Oh yes, spiders know everything on the web. That's why they need 8 legs, it's so they can type fast enough. Yeah, pulling a Sharpie. Or super gluing your head to your workbench. That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I've done some really dumb stuff over the years, injury wise, but that's the one that keeps coming back. It's not like the broke both my feet when I was drunk, blew my foot up when I was drunk, punched myself in the face in my sleep and broke my nose when I was sober. Yeah, the one everyone remembers is gluing my head to the bench. Gave my 2-week notice at the gym. Boom. Someone was actually showing me pictures of one of the gyms in towns this week. Apparently they started going to the gym. Oh yeah, it's really good. No, you'd enjoy it. Like, yeah, look at this. Yeah, they've got the exercise bikes as well. And I'm like, so you sit there in one place pedaling, staring at a flipping wall. Yeah, but it's all really good and adjustable, and you can set it exactly how you want it. And but you're sitting there staring at a wall in a room full of other people's sweat and stale farts. And you pay for this? My holes are rotten. Yeah, I'll say I'm on the list as an organ donor, but they won't even take my blood. So I gave blood once and then politely asked not to do it again. Doing that up colon book for that last page you've been torn out. Had to draw your own conclusions. Oh no. Well, one bit at a time, Adele. No sense in dying young and leaving a good-looking corpse. Something works in my body. Let me screw that up. Yeah, it's the Mr. Burns approach. You catch every disease known to man, and they all fight against each other, and you're fine. Then immune to them all. I don't joke about construction. I'm still working on it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now we're back to 1970s stand-up comics. Next is going to be the mother-in-law jokes. Yeah, I just don't go to the doctors. Oh, your mama jokes. This is one that only the Brits will get. Your mama's so fat, when she fell down the stairs, people thought EastEnders was starting. And I know Dan will get that one. Good way to lose weight. Plastic surgery. Your mama's so dumb she got hit by a parked car. I was so dumb I got run over by a teacher. There is an easier way to lose weight, Ricky. Just eat less and move more. This DKF says she was leaving me because I'm too cocky. Told her fine, shut the door on your way back. It was the fridge shrinking my clothes, not the dryer. Oh dear. Yeah, that's it. We're not getting bigger. It's just our clothes are shrinking. Although I say I am having the opposite issue at the moment. I'm going to have to start buying smaller clothing because the current stuff keeps falling off. Oh dear. Oh, almost as classic as a simple your mum. Yeah, you don't have to add anything after it. It's just your mum. That basically ends the conversation. Your mum was so ugly. There was a trampoline. There was a trampoline under the ugly tree. Kids say your mum to everyone. Horrible parent. Well, as long as they're not saying your da, then you're good. Because then it's not you they're referring to. And if you don't get the your mum's so fat when she fell down the stairs, people thought EastEnders was starting. It's because famously the start of the EastEnders theme tune is doo, 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 doo. Back to the dry erase board, the most remarkable invention. Or alternatively known as the way to increase sales. Because, at least with a blackboard, everyone knows you write on a blackboard with chalk. Problem with a whiteboard or a dry erase board is people will forget and they have a tendency to write on them in permanent marker. And then you have to get the isopropyl alcohol out to get it off. Although apparently there is a way of drawing a cat where you basically draw male genitalia and you turn it into a cat and you draw it on the whiteboard and you don't, because you're not in trouble because you're drawing a cat. It's kind of okay. Not computer is a singer. Adele! Ha ha! Oh, I'm rolling in the deep here with laughter. Yeah, basically you draw the male genitalia with a permanent marker, then you draw the rest of the cat with a dry white marker. And when teacher comes along and wipes off the dry white marker, they just leave a male genitalia on the board that unless they have IPA, isopropyl alcohol, they can't get rid of. Yeah, chalk on a chalkboard, on a blackboard, it's the sound of school. And if the kids were misbehaving, all the teacher had to do to get everyone's attention was just turn around and go down the board with their nails, and everyone went, "Oh God!" Apart from me. Least spoken language, sign language. Boom. Common sense. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Common sense is one of those things that's named comically incorrectly. So many people don't seem to have it. You hear some decisions and that people, politicians or whoever have made, and you're like, it's enough to give you Forrest Whitaker right. Can be done with the chalk as well. It's worse than nails. Yeah. Yeah. I'm used to having nails that make them loud noise, whatever you do anything with them on. Although we are down to only 4 long nails now, I decided the other 3 were dangerous to my health after I managed to snap one. Got to keep the Darwin Awards going. Oh, definitely. They're always hilarious videos to watch. I mean, people say, "Oh, you shouldn't." Oh, no, that's why the Darwin Awards are there. They're just to celebrate absolute idiots. Yeah. An award for taking yourself out of the gene pool. And it doesn't have to be that you managed to unalive yourself accidentally. It can be as simple as removing your ability to breed anymore. Oh dear. Oh dear. Tommy's been on the Ritalin again. AKA Australia's funniest home videos. Yeah. Oh, that's the point. I've still not got round to watching that Isaac Butterfield video you sent me. I do enjoy the Buttsman. He is very funny. Can't stop myself not sorry. Don't apologise. Bad jokes are always welcome. I am a bad joke. Come on, let's be honest. Some of the ones I crack at work. You crack a bad joke and everyone just stops, turns around and looks at you like, what? And then one person will get it. And then I'll crack up laughing. And the others are still standing there looking confused. Like, oh, yeah, you didn't get the reference. Did you know 3.14% of sailors are considered pirates? Pie. That is the favourite number in the north of England, 3.14. Yes, they are. Yeah, dear. Isn't there actually National Talk Like a Pirate Day at some point? I can't remember when that is. But yeah, it's not something anyone actually bothers following because. Oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah, 3/4 of a can of energy drink down, and I'm yawning. Actually, more than 3/4. Yeah, I think it's Neurodivergence Week at the end of the month, which ironically also falls on the 1st of April. Whether they meant to have Neurodivergence Month or Neurodivergence Week containing April Fool's Day, I'm pretty sure someone didn't think that through. It might be the only month there was. 19th September. Trust Ricky to know. Glad to be on this planet. Had a lovely meal on the moon once, but there was no atmosphere. Oh dear. Oh, my phone's pinging away. Comment on one of my videos. Oh dear, let's have a look. Have you been getting the snotty comments? Have they actually transferred to leaving you snotty comments rather than me? Oh, let's have a look. Dooby-dooby-doo. Grab the welly phone, stick the code in. Okay. Let's see, is this one we can read out? Why is Captain Jack Sparrow doing the voiceover of this video? Oh dear. So someone obviously doesn't understand that you know, different countries have different accents. Yeah, you don't sound anything like Jack Sparrow. Oh dear. Yeah, you're getting towards the bottom of the barrel now, Tommy. Also, randomly, did you know the longest word you can type with only the top row of keys or letters on a keyboard is typewriter? Yeah, there's probably a language, if you translate it through it, probably means something. Probably something good night and letters sober. Letters. That does sound like it could be a language. Yeah, I mean, of all the people that they could have chosen, I mean, Jack Sparrow's not too bad. I mean, at least they didn't ask you if it's which which one you were, Chaz or Dave. Um, and no offense, Adele, but it does get annoying when people think I'm Australian. Seriously? Have you ever heard an Australian accent? And no, you haven't, have you? Um, rabbit, rabbit, savvy. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Yeah, yeah, rabbit, rabbit. You got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. This time you got it off your chest. It's kind of ironic that Sainsbury's don't sell rabbit anymore. It gets annoying when people think I'm British. It's okay, we're even. Yeah. So it's almost like people don't understand that not all Brits sound like the Queen. You know, we don't all speak in received pronunciation, or Alan Rickman, or whoever you decide to choose as an example, or Stephen Fry. And no, not all Australians sound like Crocodile Dundee, for crying out loud. Yes, I know that's a bad choice. I could have gone Rolf Harris because the shops are full of horse, apparently. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure which people would probably get more upset about eating these days, rabbit or horse. What if they found rabbit meat in like the lasagnas these days or something like that? Why? You don't sound at all like King Charles, not Prince Charles. I don't believe it. I don't bloody believe it. Victor Meldrew, the world's grumpiest old man character. Uh, Still, to me, though, the funniest part of that show ever was when he went to pick up the phone and he just picked up the puppy instead and held it. Apologies for his majestic weirdness. Yes. Thoughts and prayers. If you're not aware, King Charles does have cancer. Um, and now I always used to have, have a joke of probably, oh, screw it, it's right near the end. Even YouTube ain't going to listen this long. Um, you got more chance of, well, my one was you got more chance of fingering the Queen, which, kind of funny. So, I changed that to you got more chance of fingering the King. And then it was announced that he's got butt cancer. And I'm like, so that means someone has had their fingers up the King. Yeah. It's like, I mean, I'm sure they, whoever the doctor is to the king is probably rich enough that they're not going to even bother selling that story. But fingers, Camilla's had her entire arm up there operating like a puppet. Or I'm pretty sure Prince Philip had been dead for years as well. He was just being automated by someone. Wait 7 decades to be king, and now he won't be for long. Yeah, exactly. Which means we're going to get that. Good. Now, I've not really got anything against William, because he'll be next in line. It's just his missus I can't stand. I don't know. Not that I really have anything at all to do with the royal family. Advice for a finger up the clacker is a woman or an Asian doctor, their fingers are smaller. And make sure you don't feel both hands on your shoulders at the same time. I've had the camera up there and that wasn't pleasant because that was back in the 90s, and you can imagine how much bigger the cameras were back then. He used to be trying to look like William when he had hair, when he was about 14. Oh dear. I suppose at least he's not ginger like his half brother. Yeah, thankfully there's not too many Brits here, so that one won't go down too badly. Do you really need a DNA test to know that Charles isn't Harry's father and that Hewitt was? One bore a striking resemblance to Diana when she was young as well. Ooh. Still missed, yes. Well, Princess Diana isn't. Not around here, anyway. Actually, yeah, well, never know. We might actually find out what happened at some point in the future. I really doubt that the royal family are going to let any of that come out. Not for centuries, anyway. When it's ye olde history like Henry VIII is to now. Yeah. Which means we know it's bad. Yeah, exactly. But again, we know it's bad, and we know we wouldn't be surprised. Like if governments actually did come out and go, the paranormal exists, and here's the proof. UFOs exist. Here is the actual proof. Here is an alien. Right? Would anyone really be surprised, or would we just go, "Oh, finally"? Yeah, we've known that for years. It's kind of like when that person finally comes out of the closet and they're expecting like a massive reaction. Everyone was just like, "Yeah, we knew. We've known for years. We knew before you did." UFO proof, Pilot One Daily. We have an alien in chat. Probably. A small pleco that cleans your tank and eliminates maintenance. Oh, yeah, we need one of them. If I could get one of them and breed it, I'll be sorted. going to happen if the government. It's one of those things that I don't think the government will have been involved in, and if they were, they've been, how can I put it, sworn to secrecy. The joke about the moon was the only true story. I mean, I've probably at some point eaten a meal on the moon in a trip hallucination. Done all sorts of weird things in hallucinations. Mind you, I've been having some very strange dreams lately. If I can put, actually no, I've been having some very rude dreams lately. We best not talk about those. This thing would be a veering. Yeah, oh dear. But yeah, is it going to be Little Green Men? I seriously doubt it. Yeah. Why would they necessarily even be carbon based? We've got silicon based life forms on this planet, so you go around the vents at the bottom or the thermal vents at the bottom. Is it the Pacific? Yeah, the animals down there that live around those aren't carbon based because they wouldn't survive if they were. Anyway, my time, as they say, is done. So thank you everyone for being here, for being awesome and funny. Thank you, Tommy, for the dad jokes. Had a strange dream of a bald guy sitting in speedos by the pool while a Texan was alternative bingo calling. Chilling. Yeah, that is scary. Happy Superman. Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies and the mothers. Here's your thanks. Awesome, cool, cheers. Woohoo! Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. This Monday won't suck. Do 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 do.